make it 3.
Going for the St. Louis now.
Oh, no.
Son of a bitch.
You get your 2?
Yeah. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course. I do have 2 video replays for us today. One in the Minikaze that we're taking a look now, or sorry, this is in the Kuma. The next one is going to be in the Minikaze. Now, before we get too far into the replay, few announcements. So, for whatever reason, my XSplit broadcaster is no longer working. So this is the software that I use to record my videos in game. Anyway, while XSplit is figuring their shit out and trying to make the fix, because I believe it has something to do with Windows. Windows did an update over the weekend, and XSplit just hasn't come out with a patch for it yet, so that might be one of the issues. But anyway, while that is happening, what is going to happen on the channel here is I'm just going to work through some of the video replays that I have saved up. I've got a number of them saved up, actually, so this isn't really all that bad for you guys. It just means that what we'll be taking a look on the channel may not be the latest and greatest thing. So that's the first announcement. Second announcement, obviously there is a new challenge in the game as well. We can win ourselves a tier 2 Japanese destroyer. Now I know that it might not be that exciting for some, right? You might not actually want that destroyer. However, I would point out that the destroyer is worth at least a port slot, which everyone can use. And second, there are 6 stages to this challenge, or to this quest, whatever you want to call it, and you get rewards at the end of each stage. For example, I completed the first stage earlier today, and I got 100,000 credits for doing so. So there's nothing wrong with working your way through and getting them done. As a bonus as well, you know, you basically get it done while you're playing the game, tier 6 and higher, right? So there we go. Pearls. So pearls have reset, so don't forget to do your weekly missions. Get those all done. Open up your treasure oh man, treasure chest. Open up your treasure chest, yes. And of course, you know, try and get the 260 pearls so you can get yourself the Kamikaze R. I, of course, will be getting a Kamikaze R because I've done all of the challenges and, you know, have all the pearls that I'll possibly be able to collect. So that'll work out well. And the last announcement. Subscriber rewards. Yes, I know it's been a while since I even brought it up. Number of reasons for this. So I've been grappling with the idea, right? Do I even want to reward this early on? You know, it might just encourage people to click subscribe just for the chance of getting a reward, but they're not actually contributing anything to our community, right? That is my concern. The other concern I had was, you know, I did kind of mention that I'd start giving out rewards at 100 subscribers and every 100 subscribers from there, and I just quietly let that milestone pass without mentioning the rewards, so that's sort of why. Now, I was talking to Pudahead. Now, Pudahead and I are fairly good friends as well, right? He's a subscriber on the channel, contributes as well, so that's fantastic, and thank you for your contributions, Pudahead. But he mentioned, you know, and he's right. He feels as though I promised some sort of reward, and you're totally right. So I'm going to have to address it, and we are going to be addressing it this month, this February, because this video is coming out February 1st, 2016. So during this month, it's going to be mid to the end of February, I will be giving away rewards for the subscribers. So, that being said, what sort of contest would you guys like to see, like to have in order to earn the rewards? Now, the rewards themselves, we better talk about that as well to make sure you guys actually want to participate, right? The rewards themselves, I'm not, you know, it's not set in stone, and I'm open to suggestions on the rewards as well, because I don't know what you guys would most like. Would you rather just raw gold and then you go ahead and use it as you please? Would you rather a premium ship? Would you rather, you know, like a captain's weekend pass or something like that? Like, I'm not 100% sure what you guys would value the most. Now, I'm thinking that just straight up gold would be the best way to do it, because, you know, you can do whatever you want with that gold. So also leave that in the comments. So 2 things with the rewards, right? I want to know what sort of contests you guys be willing or interested in participating in. So would you be looking for, you know, maybe the most damage done in a certain ship, right? You submit the screenshots to me, the most raw damage done, I'll give away, you know, a first place, second place, third place prize. That's another thing. I'm going to give away more than one prize, obviously. So I'm not just giving away one, right? Because we have a bit of a backlog here to make up for. So is that something you're interested in? Is it, you know, submit a Kraken or something like that. You know, again, I'm not 100% sure. So let me know what your ideas are on the subject and what you guys would like to see in terms of reward. I'm very open to it, you know, and I will go with whatever the majority votes on. That is what we're going to give out for the reward. So, you know, I'm looking for those comments and I'm looking for your ideas over the next week or two. And then, like I say, mid to late February, we're going to start contests and giving away rewards. There we go. Those are my announcements. Took about 5 minutes of our video here. No big deal, no big deal. But again, you know, just let me know what you guys think about that. So, getting into the replay here. We are in the Kuma. You will have noticed that I'm grouped up with Toad King and Woodman Trucker. The whole purpose around this battle that we're looking at, right, is the tier 4 kills. I'm trying to get my tier 4 kills. This is when they first introduced the Pearl Quest Project R. So that's what we're doing. Grouped up together, and we're just trying to get as many kills as possible. Now, I believe, though, at this point in time, because Trucker is in... No, Trucker's in the Karlsruhe, that's right, yeah. Trucker was in the tier 4 Russian premium battleship, the Imperator or something like that. But then, you know, he switched over to the Karlsruhe because he was actually taking all the kills. Because myself and Toad King need the kills right now. Trucker does not. So he's just in here playing support. So I do have an enemy battleship off in the distance. I'm quickly putting shots into him. Send me Wyoming, I believe, of that class anyway. So we're putting shots into the ship, and we're, you know, letting them on fire pretty significantly as well. You'll notice that I did manage to get a kill so far as well, so that is not too bad. Now, enemy Kuma pops up, right? So this is a Kuma. He's giving me a great broadside, so I've got an excellent opportunity to put some armor piercing into him, do some citadels, or get some citadels on this guy, right? Get him down and gone. The enemy battleship is now gone as well. We don't need to worry about him, and I have managed to get a citadel on the enemy Kuma, so he's down to little over half health, so that's not too bad at all. We'll line up some torpedoes because it looks like he's coming around here. He's within my 7-kilometer torp range as well, so figure why not? If he continues along that course, we're going to get him with some torpedoes here. Taking a look around, because these, especially on big race, right, these lower tier matches, it can get pretty hectic. Things, you know, can go down really quickly in the middle, this area here that I'm in. You can see I did steer to turn away from it. I didn't want to go in here. I mean, there's a Kawachi, even though the Kawachi is, you know, tier 3 battleship. I'm in a Kuma, so the Kuma has very little armor, and I'm not willing to take any sort of chances with that Kawachi. Just, you know, shoot off some rounds at him and group up with my allies down here. You can see for the most part, the allies I have in the north, which includes Trucker and Toad King, they're up there putting pressure on the enemy cap. In the meantime, I'm down here defending our base, right? Because the enemies were getting close, and I didn't want to leave the defense of the base just to, you know, my teammates here. I wanted to make sure one of us was down here to do something about it. So that turns out to be me. So I managed to quickly get some citadels into the Kuma here, and he is almost dead. There we go. Fantastic. 2 more citadels. So I think that was a total of 6 citadel hits I got on that one Kuma. Yeah. So it's definitely worth it, right, to put in your armor piercing, especially when you're that close to a cruiser like that and you have the broadside. Really, really worth it. Now the St. Louis is off in the distance. I am going to fire high explosive at the St. Louis. I didn't really want to risk over penetrating them, and besides, just with the distances involved, you can see where my shots are falling. I was just hoping to set this guy on fire, do a bit of damage. That's the idea behind it anyway. In the meantime, you do note that the enemies down here at B, who are putting pressure on our base, there's only 2 of them left, I believe, now. So we're doing pretty good in terms of the defense. And in the north, my allies up there, including Trucker and Toad King, are up there starting to cap the enemy base anyway, right? Putting pressure on it. So fantastic. Things are going fairly well for us here. So it's just a matter of trying to rack up as many kills as possible. Look at this poor old St. Louis. Yeah, he managed to just cruise in a straight line. I've got high explosive loaded, so I just start pumping it into him, setting him on fire. He's repaired the fire now, right? So that's important. So I set him on fire again, and this fire continues to burn, right? There's nothing he's going to be able to do to put out that fire. He already used the repair, so it's a matter of waiting for the repair to cool down or waiting for the fire to simply burn itself out. In the meantime, he's losing a whole bunch of hit points, and that of course just goes to help me out, and hopefully I can get this kill here. Just get another kill at tier 4, right? Earn some more pearls, because the pearl quests are awesome. Actually, that's one thing that I've been hearing a lot of from a lot of players. You know, most players have gripes with some of the missions that Wargaming puts on. I mean, even the new Tier 2 Japanese destroyer mission, well, I think they're great, but I have heard some griping about it today. You don't hear, at least I haven't heard, a lot of griping about the Pearl missions, the Project R missions. I think this was a great contest, or, well, not necessarily contest, but activity that Wargaming put on for us. It really is working out quite well for them, and you can tell, especially since they had to raise the cap on the Pearls, right, to 6 million to end the event. Anyway, managed to finish off the St. Louis, so that is not too bad at all. There is only one enemy ship remaining at this point in time. It's the enemy aircraft carrier. We can see that, who is that? I think it's Trucker in his Karlsruhe is still up there, putting shots into the enemy aircraft carrier. At least I think it's Trucker. I'm not 100% sure, so we'll just say it was. Anyway, victory, battle is over, fantastic, and most importantly for me anyways, I walk away with 4 kills, right? So that was a pretty good battle, and it really worked out well for me in that I managed to get the, was it 10 kills at tier 4? Can't remember, but I managed to get those kills fairly quickly, so that's pretty great. You can see I did manage to report someone here as well, just because of some fairly poor play I saw. So they have the reporting system, why not use it? So moving into the next clip now. This again is Minikaze, right? And again, questing for pearls and credits. Because I think it's at this point in time that I'm saving up the credits. I'm still saving up credits to buy the Zhao, right? So this just gives you a bit of a time frame as to when these battles were played. Side note, did anyone see the new release for the new patch? Yes, some of the notes anyway have been posted onto the World of Warships forum. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and take a look at it. You can find it right underneath the Wargaming staff post. You'll notice Nico Power, he put up the post there, so you can go ahead and check that out. Lots of interesting information there as well. I'm interested to see the new map they announced. I'm interested to see some of the changes they have going on with the commander skills. This will be interesting. And I'm also interested to see how they compensate our players who may or may not have researched or chosen one of the commander points that are affected, right? So interesting patch notes. I can't wait for this new patch to come out, to be frank. I mean, I'm always excited for any new content in this game at all. Love the game, as I'm sure you guys are fully aware of. So any new stuff that comes, you know, I'm all over it. I love it. It's so great. Anyway, on New Dawn in the Minikaze. So what are we going to do in this battle? Looking for, you know, kills and looking for credits. So I don't want to die. Dying would suck, so we want to play it fairly careful here, right? You can see I'm moving into the center of the map. Now, we have the benefit here on this mode of New Dawn where we don't have the 3 separate cap zones, so we don't necessarily have to worry about this. This gives us a little more flexibility and a little more maneuverability on the map as well. So you can see the majority of my team is going to head towards the southern half of the map, right? Kind of sweep across that southern half on the mini-map. And while they're doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cruise around the center here. See if there are any destroyers who decide to come into the center that maybe I can pick off. Or even better, any cruisers that decide to come in here right at the beginning, right? Because I can easily pick these people off, assuming, of course, I maneuver around enough so they don't see me. We can see the enemy Fujin off in the distance. I am concerned about this player, or rather that ship. Not concerned for myself, concerned for the team, right? Because you'll notice that my team is continuing to push south towards the eastern side of the map, and if a Fujin is in there, he can cause a bit of damage to potentially some of my battleships, right? So I was a little concerned for those guys over there. But I'm not willing to just go over there and hunt down the Fujin. I mean, I'm in a Minikaze. That's not what this ship is designed for. It's not what it's made for. So I'm going to have to rely on my team to potentially do something about him, or, you know, just keep an eye on him and avoid any incoming torpedoes. I do have another ally destroyer here off to the port side. We can see him there, and I'm quickly lining up some torpedoes on the enemy battleship. So there he is there. I managed to just, you know, streak by without getting sighted, more importantly by him or the little scout plane we had in the air. You might have saw it there as well. So managed to do that. I am spotted now though, but my torpedoes are already away. So hopefully those torpedoes will hit the battleship that I had aimed at here. That is the plan. While all this was going on, I kind of moved into the center a little as well, just to check it out. Didn't see anything pop up, and again, I'm not willing to go all the way into the center. It's just, if there's something in the center and I'm right on the edge, I should be able to see it. Didn't see anything, so turning back around, we're going to continue to harass the battleship. I mean, if this guy, if this guy doesn't go down, I'll at least have some more torpedoes in the water to finish him off. At least that's the plan, right? So all of my torpedoes did miss. The enemy battleship was able to maneuver and ground himself. Now we call this, in the business, here at Thotgor Media, we call that a strategic grounding. Yes. You ground yourself in order to save yourself. Didn't work out in the end though. You trade one form of death for another, and the enemy battleship is gone. Fantastic. So we're just going to scan around, see what other targets I have around. I am aware of these enemy ships up in the north, right? We can see them over there. There was a Fuso as one of them. So we're aware of those guys. They probably are going to push down south into our base. But I don't necessarily need to deal with that right now because it's going to take them a while to get over there. In the meantime, and while I'm sort of waiting for that to happen, no need or no reason why I can't continue to harass enemy ships over here. I'm looking at these enemy ships though, and you can see that they are, off in the distance. I do have one cruiser here on the port side who is sort of coming towards us, so that opens up the opportunity for a torpedo strike. But you'll see that the other enemies, they're not necessarily in a good position for me to start torpedoing, so I got to take this into account and start figuring out, do I want to continue the charge north like this? Or is it time to go back to our base and start defending? And you got to think about, well, how much damage can I actually manage to pull off over here? Right? Like, what are the chances of actually getting this accomplished? So these are things that I'm sort of thinking about right now as I'm sailing around, trying to determine. I mean, I do see the enemy destroyer over there, so yeah, we'll line up some torpedoes, but enemy battleship here is within my range, so I am going to launch torpedoes on this guy, because he's coming towards me, so it's a good, hopefully going to be a good spread. The enemy Cleveland was sailing in reverse, and I don't really want to chase that guy down, risk getting seen like I'm spotted right now, right? So the enemy Cleveland's a huge risk, and I just didn't want to get killed by that guy. So we're going to continue, we're going to keep our distance, see how this plays out. Don't want to make any hasty calls right now either. Fairly important. We're watching our torpedoes on the way for the New Mexico. There we go. There's 1 and 2 hits and 3 hits. Fantastic. Enemy New Mexico's almost gone now. Excuse me. He is, in really low health. Fairly unfortunate for that guy. Fortunately for myself as well, I do have a friendly destroyer here. There he is, my Minakaze as well, and he has launched his torpedoes at the enemy New Mexico, so that is fantastic. Few hits from my ally destroyer here, and that guy will be gone. I'm getting myself into position to potentially deal with this enemy destroyer here. Wanted to try and get this guy gone because he is being a bit of a nuisance to us, to both myself and my ally, and he's spotting us for the Cleveland off in the distance, and that's fairly bad news for us. Cleveland's eat up destroyer, so I don't necessarily want to fall into that trap, but at the same time I want to deter the enemy destroyer from being able to continuously spot us like this. So I'm no longer in sight. I have torpedoes on the way for the enemy destroyer. These torpedoes look pretty good, and I get very lucky. There we go, fantastic. Get my first kill, take out that enemy destroyer, and the devastating strike, so that's not too bad at all. Now cruising around, taking a look, you can see enemies are putting pressure on our base now, right? In the north there is still that enemy Cleveland, but I'm not going to stick around and hunt that guy down and start the cap. I'm going to come and play some defense over here, help stall the enemy from capping our base, and in turn hoping to buy my team enough time to get the lead and cap on the enemy base so we can win, right? That is the plan. So we're moving into the center here, taking a look at the enemy ships that we're going to have to deal with. Now obviously they have no idea that I'm here at all, can't spot me. We're taking a look. There is an enemy, what is that? Enemy Warspite, right? So we see the enemy Warspite. Yeah, start thinking, Maybe. I mean, if he decides to stay there, we'll see what happens. There's an enemy York out there as well. We saw him. Now that I'm realizing that there's tier 7s in this match, it's possible that the battleship I was firing torpedoes at was a Colorado. I have no idea. So, I apologize. Anyway, getting closer to the Warspite. It does look like the Warspite is still in this channel here. The York is kind of circling around. You can see some other ships in the background as well working. So I'm like, okay, alright, I'm going to fire all my torpedoes off this Warspite. So torpedoes are on their way in for the Warspite. He's thick in this smoke, right? So he doesn't see me, we can tell because I haven't been seen, and he doesn't see my torpedoes as of yet, right? Because of the smoke at play here. Even if he would have seen my torpedoes, probably not going to help him out at all. Yeah, he was in a real bad spot. So I start hitting him with torpedoes. There we go. Enemy Warspite is gone. Second kill, and another devastating strike for myself. So fantastic. That was awesome. Now we're going to, swoop in here, see if we can't get some more torpedoes off, because they're almost reloaded. We can see the enemy York here. What is this enemy York doing? He's really close. He's closing the distance on me. Pop around here, and it turns out he's coming through the channel. Well, okay, alright. So we're going to fire torpedoes point blank at this guy, and we have to anticipate the fact that he's going to be turning away from my torpedoes, right? Yeah, didn't really matter anyway. Managed to take out the York. He was on really low health anyway, so just doing the team a favor there, and that's my third kill. Fantastic. You can see as well that at this point in time, the enemies have very little points remaining, right? There's the enemy Cleveland once again. He's decided to abandon his base, basically, because you'll notice that my allies who were up there are pushing back to our base, right, on the defense. I think there's one more allied ship up there that may start capping, but for the most part, that's about it. So I'm going to get myself out of this situation because I'm spotted, and you really don't want to be spotted with a Cleveland around. Luckily, though, the Cleveland does go down. One of my allies finished him off, so fantastic. Just a few enemy ships remaining, only 2 of them now. We do know where one of them is, and the other one, I believe, popped up on the minimap briefly. What I'm going to do at this point in time, though, is I've decided, yeah, I'm going to go off for the cap, right? The enemy ships that are remaining, my allies are going to be finishing these guys off well before I'm going to be able to get into position to actually do anything about it, right? So I'm going to move off to the cap here, maybe start capping the enemy base a little, but really just, cruising around while I'm waiting victory. We can see the last enemy ship down there in the southwest corner, right? More or less just sailed right past our base, freaked out a little, I imagine, and that's why he finds himself down there. Now, because he is way down there, yeah, again, capping the base seems like a good enough idea. I have some allies up here as well, so we might actually be able to cap the base before, my allies finish off that last enemy ship. It's possible, and then I'll get some nice base capture points as well, so it'll all equate to, money. I was going to say money, credits, no, credits, experience, the kills as well for tier 5, and the destroyer victory. Because now you start working into those parts of the pro missions as well. Nah, none of it happened. My allies managed to kill off that enemy in good time, and we get the victory. So fantastic. I managed to pull out the 3 kills, the 2 devastating strikes, and the victory as well. So that was pretty good. Second overall on the team, not too shabby at all. And a bit of damage done here. Mainly though, got the victory for the pearls, got the kills as well for the pearls, and then credits earned, right? Fantastic. So, that is today's video. Few things to keep in mind, right? The announcements at the beginning. Most importantly, I am very interested in knowing, how you guys would want to receive rewards, because I am going to give rewards. I have to give rewards. You guys are great. It's because of you guys that I continue to put up videos, right? So we're going to have to give away rewards. I'm just looking for ideas. How do you guys want to actually do the contest? Or do you even want to have it? Like, I could always just, give you a link and you go and put your name in, and then it randomly pulls out 3 names, right? And then those 3 people randomly get a prize, something like that. So just let me know what you guys think. Anyway, as always, if you did like today's video, be sure to hit the like button there. Leave any comments for me. You have it all in the video comment section below. Love reading those and responding back to them. Hit the old subscribe button as well if you are not a subscriber. As always, folks, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.